Welcome to Coweta School's Game Day, where we'll highlight the student athletes and the great athletic programs that bring so much excitement to our community throughout the year. I'm Hap Hines, principal of the Central Educational Center, also known as the CEC. This program is brought to you by the video team members here at the CEC through our school system's CCS TV YouTube channel. And the start of a new school year means the start of high school football season in Coweta County. We've just seen our Cougars, Indians, and Viking players in scrimmages, and we're about to jump right ahead into a return to the Fayette Coweta Classic this Saturday at Drake Stadium on the campus of Noonan High School, with all three teams matched up with rivals from our neighboring Fayette County. That means I'm about to get to talk about some of the great things going on in our school system's football programs with some of my favorite people, like Mike McDonald, head football coach of the Northgate Vikings, John Small, head football coach of the East Coweta Indians, and Chip Walker, head football coach of the Noonan Cougars. We have them all, so stay with us. Welcome back. We're with head coach Mike McDonald, head coach, football coach of the Northgate Vikings. Coach, everybody's real excited with football season coming up, and it's finally here. And everyone wants to hear about what our local teams are doing. And again, we're super excited about the job you've done at Northgate High School. Tell us what you're excited about this season with coming up and everything.
Well, kids have worked hard this off season. We got a lot of experience coming back, more so than at any other time I've been at Northgate. So we got a good mix of experience, and we got some good players, and we're excited about this season. Had a great summer. We participated in some padded camps and of course some 7-on-7 deals, and so they were good for us. And scrimmage last Friday night over at and that went well for us. Able to come away 31-6 winners. We've got to play a lot of kids, right. So that was really exciting to see, and our kids we're excited, and they're excited about this coming Saturday.
Well, like I said, when you can come out of those those scrimmage games with some confidence, that's the best feeling. And I know y'all have got a real tough opponent coming up this Saturday in Whitewater. And Coach, we've coached together, so I know how much you pour into this. Your work ethic is second to none. And but what were some things you saw last week in the Fayette County game that you really liked out of some of your players? Any individuals or anyone kind of pique your attention?
We had some, and I'm gonna get to our big play board when we're at the end of this thing, and so I'll read some of those guys out to you. But we had two quarterbacks that played a lot, and both of those guys played well. I thought we threw the ball really well. We caught the ball. We had a couple of big drops, but overall, I thought we caught the ball well. Running game, you could tell they really tried to take away our inside zone play, and so we ran a lot of power and counter. And I was wanting to see, we got three new starters up front on offense, and so that to me was kind of key going into that. How were those guys going to perform? And I thought they did great. Probably exceeded my expectations. Defensively, we flew around. Had a shutout going, and we kind of subbed out, and they got a little drive, going. But defensively, I thought we really flew around and played aggressive and physical.
That's great, Coach. Like you said, if there's anything of a Mike McDonald team, they're going to fly around defensively. I've seen you coach it up, for the 9 years I was at Noonan High School, and just the energy and passion you bring to it. Like I said, it got us jacked up as coaches then, and it gets me jacked up just seeing you do that now. What a lot of people don't know, and of course, you're humble to a fault, but you're 5 games from 100, and I know you never broadcast that or anything, but that is an elite club, and that is a tribute to how hard you work and to what you've done. Winning 100 games this day and age in modern high school football is a tough feat, and like you said, we're just going to be real excited there when it happens. I know I don't want to jump too far ahead because you'd probably put me in my place. It's one game at a time, yep. But you've got a 4 o'clock kickoff against Whitewater. Yep. It's on Saturday. Are there any things that you might do a little different with just it not being a normal Friday night routine, or the fact you're kicking off maybe at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of the sun?
Well, I think Coach Hines, the big thing is we've done this game, so now this is what, the 4th or maybe the 5th year. So, and it always starts the season. So, yeah, it's a little different, but we've done it, and I think that helps. The times have changed. We were the early game last year.
Right.
So I think the first year we were the middle game. So now we're back to the middle game. We're going to eat pregame meal 4 hours before kickoff. That's just like we do on Friday. So, the weather, the heat is going to be an issue because that's going to be the hottest point at the time of the day. So I know, talked to Coach Walker. I think Noonan Utilities is going to have us some misters for all 3 Coweta teams on the home sideline. I think that's going to help. And our kids are going to have to hydrate. Right. But our kids did a great job of coming all summer and getting acclimated and working in the heat. So, fingers crossed we're going to handle it well.
Coach, I wouldn't expect any different. There's one thing Mike McDonald's going to be. It's always going to be prepared. Coach, you had a big playoff win last year, and and I know playoff wins in high school football in Georgia, they don't come easy. What are kind of your expectations coming into this season?
Well, I think, Coach, speaking of, we kind of carried over, I feel like, at the end of the year, some real positive energy.
In a tough region.
Yeah, and, we kind of carried that over, and that led us into our off season and into our summer and, into camp. And so, the guys are confident and they're feeling good. And, there's always adversity. That.
Oh, yeah.
And injuries. Things can happen that you don't plan for. But we're excited about it. And, just like you said, take them one at a time. And as you know, as well as I do, man, if somehow you can get that 1 seed, I think, Coach Hines, and you can make, I think, those years at Noonan when, we were making those deep playoff runs when we were together there, guess what? We were that, we got that 1 seed. And so I think that's huge. You can get that home field advantage. So that's something, that we talked about to our guys. And, let's shoot for that. And I think that helps you,
Absolutely.
in the playoffs. It really does.
Right. Well, like I said, if there's one thing that is synonymous with Coach Mike McDonald, it is hard work and loyalty. And like you said, the job you're doing is fantastic. Thank you for what you do for the kids in this county. I'm very thankful for the years that I've been able to be on your staff, and looking forward to a great Saturday. Be cheering you guys on, and just looking forward to a wonderful season. And congratulations, and let's go get them.
Yes, sir. Can I read my big
Hey,
playboard?
like I say, it would not be saying we got to get the big playboard in.
This is our big playboard, and we've done this for years and years versus Fayette County. And most hits, we have number 51, Peyton Liggett. Big play with Coach Hines, is tackles behind the line.
Yes.
Tackles for loss is number 2, Marcus Barnes. Number 5, Cade Bates. Number 52, Jet Clark. Number 50, Amir Hopper. Number 11, number 51, Peyton Liggett. And then number 11, Braxton Davies. We had a hammer, and you know what a hammer is.
I know what a hammer is.
Number 14, Bryson Davies. We had a takeaway, linebacker, number 34, Walker Johnson. Our highest grade O-line was our center, Trey Gaddy. Our highest grade defensive line was defensive end, Cade Bates. Highest grade secondary, we had Mason McKnight. Highest grade linebacker was Trent Gordon. The meanest Viking, we had 2 of them, Amir Hopper and Marcus Barnes. Our racehorse was Josh Veen. Our air Viking was Cade Whitman. Our game breaker, we gave it to the first drive, Coach. We took the ball, and being a defensive coach now, I wanted to receive. That was different for me, but we took the ball, drove it down, and scored the first drive, so that was a game breaker. Spirit ball went to our center again, Trey Gaddy. Kicking game went to our kicker and punter, Jake Anderson. Captains for Whitewater this week, we're going to have Amir Hopper, Trey Gaddy, Marcus Barnes, and Josh Veen. And the player of the week for the Fayette scrimmage was Josh Veen.
Coach, sounds like you got a great cast of players right there. And I know, like I said, in typical Coach McDonald fashion, it's all about the players. And I'm going to step in the background and all that. But Coach, like you said, thanks for all you do. Your hard work and all that is just it means a lot to these kids, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys Saturday.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you,
Hines.
buddy. Thank you again for being here. We'll be right back in a few moments. Welcome back. I'm Hap Hines, principal of the CEC, and I'm fortunate enough to have with me my good friend, former colleague, John Small, who is head football coach of the East Coweta High School Indians. And John, we're just going to talk a little bit of football here. We've got a real big game coming up this week with Stars Mill. Tell us kind of how preparation's going. Last week getting the scrimmage game and getting your feet wet. How are things going in preparation for Stars Mill?
Oh, they're going great. We got a young bunch this year, a lot of kids, a lot of inexperienced kids, but they're getting their feet wet quick.
Awesome.
We traveled last week on the road for 2 hours, and about 75% of them is the first time they packed a bag to travel. So, but they got up there, got some experience, and we'll get back to work this week. But been really pleased with their attitude and their effort every single day, and we're excited to kick the season off.
Awesome. I know, when it comes to scrimmage games, for coaches, and I've had the fortune to work close to you over the last few years. I mean, it's really not about the score. It's being able to see seeing what your guys are getting the whole process ready, kind of the script ready for the upcoming game. And I know you guys are always going to be ready. I've seen how hard you work. Coach, what a lot of people don't know maybe is, not only are you running the role as a head football coach, but you also call the defense, serving as a defensive coordinator. How does that go through the years? I know that is a lot of preparation and effort and energy. Expand upon kind of how the week goes with that as a defensive coordinator as well.
Well, it makes it tough because you're trying to see everything, offense, defense, and special teams, then manage the kids and manage the coaches. So I guess I've wisened up. I've turned over the defensive coordinator duties to Coach Mark Barfield, who's been with us the last 7 years, and he's going to do an outstanding job with it.
Absolutely. Mark's fantastic. And like you said, being at East Coweta the last 6 years, I got a first up close in person just to see how hard and the character your coaches have and how hard they work. It's a Saturday game, and it's going to be close to a noon kickoff. How do you prepare your team for the heat and the conditions and everything? I mean, this is Georgia weather. I know you've been through this year after year with this being your 19th year, but just kind of expand upon, how the protocols we have in place keep everybody safe.
Well, you got to abide by the protocols, and you do want to keep the kids safe, but that's why you condition them year-round. You condition them in the summer to get them prepared for the heat so they're acclimated. Our kids do a phenomenal job of showing up the days we have workouts in the summer, and so we're not really concerned about that. I believe it's the preparation 2 or 3 days before a game like that this time of year to make sure the hydration is right, they got food in their system, and they're getting the rest that they need.
Awesome. Coach, with Stars Mill coming in to Coweta County, and the game is going to be at Noonan High School. Are there some new players you've kind of saying maybe keep an eye out for that have really sort of caught your attention this offseason? Maybe new faces that might be looking for some playing time, things like that. Anyone that's kind of piqued your attention and all that we want to be looking out for?
Yeah, Darrell Thompson's been a running back for us for 2 years, playing on the JV, but he's really grown up and matured and has had a great off season. We'll have some young guys up front with 2 of the Hurd brothers, or twins, or 6'6", 320 and 6'6", 290. So they're going to be thrown in the fire early and have to play. Quarterback, we've got 2 guys battling for the job, and Cohen Peoples, been a program guy, and Andrew Schock, who's been in the program. So they're battling it out, and we're going to see who's going to be the best guy for the job. But feel like we got 2 guys that can get the job done when it needs to get done.
Coach, one of the things that I've always just had, super respect for you is you've never, ever been scared to schedule tough opponents. And without a doubt, it has definitely helped the program and really just toughened kids to where, I've seen it over the last 6 years. We don't flinch no matter who we go into. I have seen big-time victories over state champions that we have beaten. Last year, we beat the state champion Sandy Creek Patriots when they came to visit. Not to mention, we turned around the next week and defeated Lowndes. Expand upon, your belief in just creating a tough non-region schedule and what it does for the team in the long run and what it's done for your program.
Well, I think it prepares you, number one, for, life, because life is tough. There's no easy way in life. And as a football team, you're going to play tough people in your region, in the playoffs. And if you're not used to playing those types of games and those types of atmospheres, you're setting yourself up for failure. It's not going to guarantee you win a game, but it gives you a chance. Right. But it also gives the kids great exposure against some of the best players in the state of Georgia, to where they can match their talents with them, which it helps them in the recruiting process. So we believe in playing tough people and good people, and getting our nose bloodied, and hopefully we're going to be bloodying more noses than getting ours blooded here.
Well, Coach, we sure are excited about it. I mean, when you talk about the kickoff to football season, it really just it just strikes a match to the school spirit, to the community spirit, and everything that goes into that. And I know the city of Sonoy, Sharpsburg, Coweta County is super proud of what you've done. There is no doubt, they don't work any harder than Coach John Small, and the character and all the things that you've instilled in your players. Let me tell you, it does not go unnoticed. And to see where the program is today and the kind of kids that that the program is putting out there is fantastic. And Coach, like I said, best of luck to you. And we'll be there cheering you guys on. Any word for the fan base in regards to Saturday's big kickoff with Stars Mill?
Yeah, we have great community, great fans, unbelievable parents in our program. I know they're all going to show up and show out Saturday to cheer on the Indians.
Sounds great, Coach. Well, Coach, we sure are glad to have you here over at the CEC. Our door is always open. And that will conclude our conversation with head football coach John Small of the East Coweta High School Indians. Welcome back. And we're with Coach Chip Walker, head football coach of the Noonan Cougars. Coach, I'm starting to sound like a broken record here, but I mean, with football in the air and scrimmage games already complete, now's the time. The real season begins. Tell us about what you're excited about this year's Noonan Cougar football team.
Well, just excited to see those guys get to go out there live on a Friday night after all the work that they've put in. One of the things that people need to understand, football has turned into a year-round sport, and these guys have been working since January to get to this point. And so, it's going to be 8 months accumulation of all the hard work and time and effort and practice and weightlifting and meeting and all the different things that they have to do to get on the field. And we talk a lot about, football is a sport. It's not like a lot of these sports. Really and truly only about 10% of the time you spend at football is actually playing the game. And so we're excited about getting that opportunity.
Coach, you've meant so much to the community. Noonan High School football, it is a traditional, program, and for you to be there, it is just a true gift to the community and everything. Coach, you've won state championships. You've won over 100 football games. That is so hard to do in modern day football, and you've done it at a very high level. And just like with Coach McDonald, Coach Small, Mike's right there on the cusp of his 100th game, and Coach Small eclipsed that last year. What is the drive? What is the motivational thing that just keeps, waking Chip Walker up and keeping him going and doing what he does? Because it's not easy.
It's the kids. That's the thing that is the big draw to me is being able to watch the kids grow and mature in your program and become, you see them from the time that they're middle school kids and they get off the bus, the first time they come to lift weights in the winter, to watch them grow and mature to when the time they're seniors, and then go on and get the chance to see them after that. That's the thing that is the big draw. Yeah, we all want to go out and win every Friday night, and we want to do all the different things, but to see those guys and help them be successful people in our community, that's the most important thing. And that's kind of the thing, it kind of, I don't know, makes you feel like you're staying young or whatever. And I enjoy getting the chance to go be around them every day.
Awesome. Coach, you've been through it all that most coaches don't have to deal with. Everyone had to deal with the pandemic, but then next thing you know, the community was rocked by a tornado and a massive storm. And just all the makeshift that's gone into that takes leadership. And now, hopefully, you know, we're starting to see maybe a little bit of light right there at the end of the tunnel. But, you know, expand upon that. But before we go, let me just tell you that we've got mad respect for the job that you've done to keep everything in place and to just be that figure for the community, for these kids, for the school. And just want to thank you for that. But just, you know, how is the challenge of all that? Do you see that starting to come to fruition with the school and the new school and the upcoming season?
Well, I appreciate it, and I can tell you it's obviously it's the most difficult thing that I've ever been through professionally. I don't know that a lot of folks quite understand exactly what our young men and women and teachers and administrators and coaches, all the things that they've gone through over the last several years in order to keep that place up and running and keep it going, and then to graduate kids and produce you know, all the different things that have gone on in all sports, not just football, but ours has been particularly difficult. You know, we've worked out in the tent for the last 3 years. Right. We have this summer has probably been the most difficult. I know everybody's thinking, hey, we're about to get back in the locker room, right, and all those things. But it's the summer that we've had the least amount of space, the least amount of time. And so it's probably been the most difficult. Our kids did not step in the locker room but one time all summer, and that was to get their pads and get their things before we had a patty camp. And so it's just, you know, I don't even know if you can sit here and explain it and
they ought to do a movie on it.
Yeah, really. But, and, you know, and it's probably more difficult on the coaches than it is on the kids. You know, kids are adaptable. They overcome and do the things, and then coaches are sitting here, you know, how come we don't have air conditioning? How come we don't have power? Why do we not have the internet? And, you know, you're doing all the different things that you're trying to do in order to get to the football season. And it's been, you know, it's been crazy. But the big thing, our kids have been great. They've worked hard the whole time. We've never had one issue about not working hard, not being there, not doing. And our coaching staff is unbelievable. For them to be able to pull off some of the things that they've pulled off that nobody will ever know anything about, it's been crazy. They just a bunch of guys who whatever you ask them to do, hey, if we got to go over here to the warehouse across town where all our stuff's stored and get 30 sets of pants, you know, for picture day, at the drop of a hat, we'll go do it. And that's what they did. And so it's been great. And now on the back end of that, we're looking forward to, you know, maybe the next 2 months we might be in everything. Who knows? That's kind of one
fingers
of those,
crossed, right?
It's a moving target, you know. Those targets are always moving. You know, we're still not in a locker room yet. We've been told several different dates, and it keeps getting backed up. But so the light is at the end of the tunnel, as you said. But sometimes it looks like that tunnel keeps getting longer and longer.
Well, Coach, your leadership and resiliency has been nothing short of remarkable in all this. And like you said, what you mean to the kids, what you mean to the community is amazing. You know, you had a big win, you know, over Griffin, which is a, you know, state power year in, year out. A lot of great athletes. You know, as we go into the primetime kickoff for Saturday's game versus Sandy Creek, you know, did some things jump out at you, some names, without giving away the game plan, but some people that you're really excited about that have shown a lot of growth from maybe last season to this season that you're expecting big things from?
Yeah, well, you know, first off, obviously with the Griffin game, went out and won 16-0, so you got to start on the defensive side of the ball. Felt really good about it. Off to a little bit of a slow start, you know, and then after that, you know, we kind of got after them pretty good. Anytime you can go to Griffin and they don't score,
that's doing a good job.
That's pretty good.
Not too many people can say they've done that in that stadium.
And so, you know, defensive line-wise, Caleb Reed and Zachariah Tucker really had really good games. And then there's a sophomore defensive lineman in there, Jackson White, played good. Secondary on the back end, kind of the two guys back there who kind of the co-captains and that drive the ship a little bit. Jameer Scandrick had an interception. Corey Turks played really good out at corner. So we're pleased with that. And then probably the linebacker is probably the strength of our defense with Rodney Colton, Josiah Smith, Imarion Nichols. And those guys did a great job. And then Brent Gregory, kind of the guy who kind of calls it all. So we were pleased with that. Offensively, we had a big touchdown throw and catch from freshman Brody Campbell to Jeremiah George, which was a big play for us. We thought we ran the ball good at times with Jalen Teagle and the offensive line. I thought they came off the ball good. Brandavius Mann.
Love him. Yeah, great guy.
Is a great guy. Has moved over to coach the offensive line, and I thought that those guys did some really, really good things. Got a long way to go, as most offensive lines at this point in time, but it went good. Obviously, we're in a little bit of a quarterback. We're trying to figure out who quarterback's going to be, and all three of them did some good things. So it's
a great problem to have, Coach. Yeah.
It's
not easy.
It isn't easy, but it's probably the first time I've ever been on a team that had three guys who could actually play quarterback and
all three,
and you not worry about it. So we've
wonderful.
been pleased with that.
Well, Coach, best of luck to you again. Thank you so much for all you mean to the city of Noonan community, and we're just real excited about the kickoff against Sandy Creek, and we'll be there. And best of luck to you, and go get them.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back. Best of luck to all our Coweta teams this weekend. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back with you throughout the year highlighting the great action on the fields and in the gyms of the Coweta County School system. Don't forget to like and subscribe to CCS TV. It helps to get the word out about all the great things going on throughout our school system. I'll see you soon.